and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the way in towards our decider map for the semi-finals here, as MIBR take on Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro, who took down MIBR on their own map pick of Vertigo, push it on towards Dust2. It's not a bad start for MIBR either. Actually going to find the first. Starting that CT side, Hector makes it one more as well. Bomb drop, the third for him before Lux trades. So far, so good for MIBR, leaving it all down to one. It's Santos in a tough 1 versus 4, being flanked from all positions. The raid boss of the P250 makes no difference as MIBR on map number 3 close things out. It was a hectic start, man. If they're Kai drawn by it, now Mizuki. Decide him up, Sam. Dust2, how you feeling?
I'm really interested to figure out what the heck the outcome of this map's going to be. Because Inferno was toe-to-toe. It was blow for blow, almost round for round, down to the wire. We move on to Vertigo, and it's like Cruzeiro have a ridiculous runaway lead on their CT side. Then we swap sides, and MIBR very nearly sweep it.
Yeah,
but Cruzeiro managed to come out on top. So here, we're heading into Dust2. So which team are we getting? Are we getting an MIBR that absolutely stomps? Are we getting the back and forth? Or are we getting an MIBR that gets stomped into the ground? At the moment, it looks like some serious power behind MIBR.
Yeah, that's exactly that, right? I mean, you have to be kind of questioning which MIBR we get. Do we get the MIBR map number 1, who turned things around really well? Do we get MIBR map number 2, who, if you look towards that first half, it was lackluster. Of course, the one thing to mention is that the knife round went in favour of MIBR. They picked in towards the CT side. I think that's the dream start for them to have, because they've got 2 rounds on the board, so to get a good amount of momentum. And now, of course, with a decent little bit of a lead, they go into a bonus round in round number 3, where Cruzeiro, yes, a full buy for them, but, you know, if MIBR make it even slightly costly, it has long-term effects for Cruzeiro. MIBR, we've got Wood buying into the scout very early on here. Now, bearing in mind, this was one of those players that we'd highlighted who'd had a very quiet series. Yes.
And he is a player that can perform very, very well. So it is a little sad to see that it's been rough going today. But thankfully, they have managed to stay in it. They've managed to keep alive. And hopefully in this map, we'll see him start to step up a little bit more. I think that AWP can get so much value on a map like Dust2. And unfortunately, that's not the best start for MIBR. We'll see if they can kind of battle this one back a bit.
Yes, not exactly where they wanted to be, but speaking of, JOTA going to find one, managed to fall away. HE will come back forward, try and deliver on something, but as we stand, a 4 versus 4 isn't the worst position for MIBR. What was not a great start. And Tuurtle, look at the information he's gained. He can overextend. No, he's not. He beats Netux in a 1 versus 1. AK doesn't matter. FAMA's apparently better.
I thought he was going to get spotted out there and die, and somehow he actually wins that trade. All right. Crazy spray through there. It gives MIBR the numbers advantage here, but look how carefully Cruzeiro are playing this. Now they're forced into a death ball. Now they're forced to have to push together. MIBR are very split across the map, but look at their positioning. They can pinch in so easily, but do they need to? Because it's JOTA on the site.
1 for 1. Cello in from behind, though. The flanking MP9 causes damage, and leaves it all down to 1. And Cello makes it a double. As Pigo falls after 3-0 start for MIBR, what was a lackluster map number 2, it's a stellar start to map number 3.
I don't know. When they started on the CT side on Inferno, they had a good start. And then it went kind of back and forth. They started on the T side on Vertigo, they got smacked down. Now they're starting on the CT side again, and things are looking up again. I don't know. Is it the side? You decide. That was really good positioning from MIBR towards the end of that round there. I mean, they made it impossible for Cruzeiro to rotate away at any given time. Now, however, Cruzeiro, in a tight spot, do have a scout of their own. But again, look at the play from MIBR. Look at this deep push down mid. Cruzeiro cannot rotate without getting caught out.
Flash have gone forward. Information gained in deep. Tuurtle's going to drop a deep nade as well. Will actually cause a significant amount of damage. And Tuurtle safely, securely making that cross. He's now going to be able to boost that AWP up. Swap position in towards Elevator as from above. Cello going to play a slightly more passive angle from that of Gandalf. The low buy of Cruzeiro being tested. They've got a decent amount of space. But look at this smoke. It's brilliant. A right eye peek for the Pistols making their way forward, but Tuurtle all about timing. Smoke dissipates, Spam going to come forward. Netok's going to take the initial brunt of the damage, but as we stand, they're struggling to make their way up towards A. And there it is, Tuurtle. One through the smoke, looking to make it two. Slight gap as well. Gives a bit of an advantage for JOTA. He's waiting for his opportunity, and there it is. He strikes. Lux will fall. An aggressive push from Tuurtle gets punished, but they're still trying to make their way forward. And in a matter of seconds, it's all down to one. And Manetoc, so much to do, so little to work with, and 4 players to find. That's MIBR finding 4.
I don't think I will ever not love that there is a spot called Gandalf.
Yeah.
Anyway. I love that push from Wood. So I called it out while it was happening, but he pushes all the way out of mid into the CT spawn, wraps around and starts moving out towards A long. He gets 2 of the last 3 kills in the round because at that point, I mean, Cruzeiro's not expecting somebody to be coming up from behind them. And this is great map control. Again, you know, this is one of those maps we talked about, how it's been stratted into the ground. You can see how comfortable MIBR are on it. But Cruzeiro now have bought up. They've got an AWP in their hands.
Oh,
and oh my god, Cello. That's
wow.
off the back of throwing util as well. I mean, he pulls out the AWP and still gets the kill off the back as well. Huge.
That's insane. I mean, that's such an aggressive peak as well. Shotgun AWPing, but it works brilliantly. Now as we stand, you look over towards Cruzeiro, and they're so isolated, so spaced out, because they don't really know where to make their movements towards. The aggressive push from Tuurtle, he's been so adaptable to every situation. And as we stand with this right-side peek, he's trying to go his way, but it doesn't. Santos read him like a book and was all too aware this could be a possibility. The mid was being held, and in comes JOTA for support. Potentially could be in for a kill or 2 here. It's all about timing on the P from above. Pigo with the AWP will deliver. Now they can split back over towards the A side, and the numbers favour the T side.
Cruzeiro play this quite well. Kind of expecting now MIBR play a really aggressive round, and Cruzeiro are like, hang on. I guess they're playing a proactive CT. We can just play a little bit more passive, wait for them to push out, and then shut it down. Now they're at a 2-player advantage. Flash comes out. That's going to push Cello off of his spot. And that's going to allow Cruzeiro to start rotating over towards A.
It'll come forward. Won't cause too much of an issue. The split is still trying to be made here. As we stand, there's too many CTs in a very, very dicey spot. I think it's more than safe to say they'll probably try and attempt to save, but will they be aware of Lux? Cello is apparently finding one, looking to find one more. Smoking towards short. Gives them security in the save.
Cello's a monster. I've said that, so I've lost count of how many times I've said that today, but he really is so good. The amount of like cheeky stuff that he's able to get done, and bearing in mind for the last 2 maps it's been Wood who's been on the AWP, and we mentioned how he's been a little bit quiet, so now they're like, all right, you know what, don't worry about it, we're gonna give Cello the AWP, you pick up a rifle, you're having a rough AWP day, that's fine, we can see you pop off on the rifle. Now Cello, who's been having a life game, is able to pick up the AWP and just continue being such a terror in the server. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough for them to win out that previous round. But, okay. No, it is. Ha! Okay, this is what they're doing. They're going for the WAWP setup. This is what they've been setting up for. It's not just about giving Wood a breather. It's about giving... I mean, Cello's going to play that secondary op. So now, if we thought that they were scary before... This is going to be almost impenetrable. Cruzeiro are going to have to come up huge here with the util to consistently force these players off of their angles. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to crack anywhere into the side. No.
I mean, as we stand, for the likes of MIBR, it's actually a very good position for them. It's high risk, high reward into the double AWP because it's a very expensive investment, but I think they've got 2 very capable players. We already mentioned Cello's been an animal and Wood is a primary AWPer. Exactly where MIBR want to be on a map like Dust2. The only thing is they need to convert it. Now, back over towards this lower tunnel's Poled. Wood, who had a bit of a slow series so far. Maybe an AWP could turn the tides for him.
A nice slow play here from Cruzeiro as well. Trying to bait out some of that util, but MIBR, they're not taking the bait. A little bit of it has come out here, but they're still holding on to quite a bit. Make sure that they can keep this push from coming in. Keep slowing it down. Cruzeiro have held on to quite a bit themselves. And it looks like they might be trying to sell a fake. I'm starting to move over towards the A side. This is a pretty heavily guarded area as well. If they don't realize that there's someone down that ramp there, this could be deadly.
Yeah, and towards pit as well. I mean, Tuurtle. We mentioned about how he's been so adaptable so far. He's been all over the shop and exactly the same again. But Teko, reactionary 180, finds the kill. That's a brilliant shot. Spoken towards front outside of sight. They're going to double stack over towards short. Committal play here, but this could be costly. Kind of more or less giving up long control, and this does become slightly uncomfortable. There's no one over towards short to challenge. The rotation has to come forward now. Sound cues have been made. And with watching that slightly lurk play, could be in for a couple. Yes, he is. 1-2 going his way. And I think that's more or less sealed the deal. They've got to make their way in towards the side. A missed shot by Wood, and Techo punishes.
Oh. Cello, the last one alive, has to try to hold on to this AWP. And it was this push from Lux through. Oh my god, Cello. Seriously, dude, how do you keep doing that? He keeps firing from the hip and it keeps working.
Comfortably shotgun hopping.
Oh, what?
Oh, hang on a second. No. Oh.
Yeah, okay, there we go, there we go.
Imagine.
That's just... I can't believe he does that twice.
It makes it expensive, though, right? And that's, at the very least, a silver lining in a bad situation.
Absolutely. You have to try and keep as many guns out of the enemy team as you possibly can. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't stop them from being able to really stock up here. Like, they're fine. But if they can continue to do that, then, you know, it starts to make things a little bit more difficult. However, MIBR, you talk about difficult. Exit's got a scout in his hands. It's not a hell of a lot to play with. He's gonna get a nice little bit of damage there, but Pico's gonna follow that up with a nice little pick off onto JOTA, who has been so good for this squad, and now he's just not on the table.
It's an important kill. I think JOTA's been one of the real standout players, kind of overall in terms of consistency, and losing him early in a round, which they desperately needed someone to step up, is not exactly what you wanted. Of course, we see Wood in towards Pit with an eagle in hand. Only a scout in the hands of Exit is the only kind of real brunt of firepower, and realistically speaking, this should be Cruzeiro finding their third.
I don't know. I've seen bigger miracles, but I feel like against this Cruzeiro squad, it would be a pretty big... Oh my god, okay.
Oh, no way. Surely not one more.
You know what? I'm here for it.
Imagine the scenes.
But, good call, good call. Back off. I don't know if that is a good call, to be fair. I mean, he's got a deagle. Like, surely now they're just heading over to the more contested site. But, of course, that's where the bomb is heading. They have to go in and reinforce it, especially after losing one.
No way, making their way forward. Techo is going to find Cello. He's low on HP. Tuurtle with an eagle. They're stepping up. Makes it a second look for the third, and Tuurtle comes alive. On for the quad kill. Would he be able to find it? Damage dealt, and the bomb dropped. It's all down to one. Tuurtle will fall to the hands of Pico, but he might have done enough damage. Look at the time as well. 15 seconds left to work with an AK-47 in the hands of Wood in the 1 versus 1. Bomb to be planted. If it's prioritized, it might give him time on the swing. The question is, where is he? Looking for the damage, and he's going to find it. Brilliant. What a round. That's all down to Tuurtle.
I was talking about miracles. Well, they made it happen. I didn't think they could, but they did it. Okay, so the first opening kill from Wood is pretty big because it forces Cruzeiro to have to rotate. They realize at this point, Bomb is moving over towards the B site. They can't really sell a fake because they don't have enough players. They need to reinforce the push over towards B. So they start rotating across, and I gotta say, a lot of that comes down to Exit getting so much damage with that scout. He just peppers them down, gets them really, really low, and then it's just cleanup. Then even if you have a pistol, all you have to do is tickle them, and you've... Oh my god.
Cello.
Okay, Pico.
Night. He's gone to bed in a matter of seconds. Flash will come forward as well, trying to go aggressive, but Wood pays the price. Tuurtle needs to step up huge, which he does. Surprise. Cello's coming to the fray, makes a 3k nearly. Pistol whipping for the 4th. Tuurtle has been a man on fire in these last couple of rounds, but still, down to a 2 versus 2 once again.
Losing Cello so early is not great. They managed to kind of back that back a little bit. Now it's 1 open, 1 rifle for both of these two teams. The JOTA getting taken down quite low here. It's all about that stall. Exit looking to... Oh, no. How does he survive there?
Ooh.
Oh, look at this rotate. This flank could be everything, and it is! It is! Oh, Exit. Oh,
brilliant.
It's disgusting, but it's beautiful.
That's brilliant. That is stunning. I mean, of course, the real credit has to be given to Tuurtle. Again, finding another 3k in an area where he realistically, he shouldn't. The fact that he's even able to get away with that amount of frags really is the turning point for an Exit. A stunning flank. Waited and buy this opportunity. And, well, Bob's your uncle, as they say. He delivers. Stunning stuff. And now as we stand, I mean, what was Cruzeiro? That's a consecutive round where they realistically should have closed it out and made this game 4 versus 4. It's now a 4-round lead for MIBR.
I mean, these lurks from MIBR have been so good. And it's never the same player twice, but they take so much map control and they make it impossible for Cruzeiro to rotate back. They're forced to have to pick whatever direction it is that they're moving in. Either that, or they get taken out on the cross. I mean, it's beautiful play. Now Cruzeiro down onto not terribly much, but we saw MIBR win a very similar round not 2 rounds ago. So let's see if Cruzeiro can kind of mount the same bit of firepower here as they start making their way over through short towards the A site. The A site, again, is so heavily defended. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to crack that open.
A lot to do, right? Utility as well, still on the hands. Trying to make their way forward. The smoke will be dropped into his front car. Into a front Gandalf swinging their way into a JOTA. 1-2 going his way. Not quite the third. Orbshot not going to rattle off. Trying to hit above the smoke. Netox causing issues once again. Rifle has been collecting. Now Deagle trying to deliver a little bit more damage. As Tuurtle sneaking his way forward, he's trying to close down on the bomb, which will be planted, but in comes the quick trade. Pigo gonna fall, looking to make it a second, but it's Lux who's coming alive. DK47 finds a second, no way, he makes it a third. Jumping from Kukli, pays the price. Cello in a matter of seconds, a 1 versus 1 exit. Trying to do what he can, everywhere when it's collected. And he delivers Lux. What a round from him, a quad kill to his name, but it's that Kukli shot that reigns supreme.
Another eco. Not 2 rounds apart. I am absolutely flabbergasted. And I mean, so often teams get a little overconfident when they come into an anti-eco. They think, okay, we've got the gun advantage. No problem. We're on top of this. And then, their fundamentals start to kind of waver a little bit. And they make it so easy for the team on the eco to take advantage of that. Saw them heading towards A and I'm like, no way they come out of this, and they get sprayed down a little bit. But to be fair, a lot of that comes down to Lux as well. I mean, that one shot, the jump peek where he just pops the head and all he saw was a pixel. Yeah, huge. I mean, if he doesn't get that kill, they lose the round. So it does sometimes come down to these really, really heroic plays, but it shouldn't have come that close. MIBR should really have been more in control of that round. And now, despite the fact that they were at a 4-point lead, look at what they have. They've invested so much into having that glass cannon for wood and then a bunch of deagles. And it's wood that's been a little questionable recently. It's a bit of an interesting choice to give him the AWP.
Well, yeah, I mean, primary AWP, but as you mentioned, his form has not been that great as of late. You potentially want to be given over to someone like JOTA or Cello, who we both know can very easily utilize it in their favor. But no, not going to be the case. Wood's still holding. Deep over towards A. Man advantage collected early doors for Cruzeiro, and they're trying to garner a lot of space over towards long. Get that control and then make that A split work.
I like that MIBR are kind of... So you're seeing somewhat of a gamble stack over towards A. Cruzeiro are playing this very patiently because they have been ecoed in the last 3 rounds. So we don't want to see a repeat of that. The problem is they can't really afford to waste too much time. Now, the B side is completely empty, but they don't know that. They don't have anyone pushing that way, trying to garner some information so that they can give that across. And that could turn out to be a detriment because they are running into this 4-stack. Okay, it's a 4-stack of deagles and an AWP, but it is still a 4-stack.
Oh, I'm sure not going to quite connect though. Second half asking Wood, good for 1, but only 1. Santos in for the trade, the boost gone forward. Trying to deny from Kukli, but Santos makes it clean. A 3K to his name. Leaves Cello all alone, 1 versus 3, and I think it's safe to say that this one's done. Keeping all that deagle as a priority, especially with the long-term economy of MIBR being well and truly null and void. He might attempt an exit frag, but that's all he's going to find.
Eesh, considering... I was about to say, considering the angle that was being held all the way down into under there, I thought that he was going to get taken out on the way out. But it's not on the way out that he gets taken. It's on the wraparound. All right, so we don't get to see a 3rd eco in as many rounds. This goes a little bit more to plan.
Yes.
Cruzeiro sitting pretty at the moment. A nice turnaround from them as well, because MIBR had a little bit of a runaway lead here, start to the map. Cruzeiro have done well to start bringing it back in their favor. Oh my god!
Ooh, wow, okay, well, one apiece, not the worst position to be in. Teko finds an opener, trying to tap away down through doors in towards mid, but it's the USPs who are causing problems. Somehow, some way. The free pistol, by the way, causing issues as the numbers favour that of the CT side. Bomb planter, and that's the priority now, the post plant to be set up. And of course, a whole host of utility for Cruzeiro to work with.
And Cello's picked up an AK for his troubles. And if there's anybody that you don't want to have an AK, it's gonna be Cello. Now, what do they do here? How do they mount this retake? They know that there's still an AWP on the board, and they know that they're very much at the disadvantage here. Do they realize that all Cruzeiro have left are 2 flashes? I mean, they have no utility of their own here. I mean, I think maybe you just hold on to the... No, they're not even holding on to the rifle. They're going for this. They're gonna try.
Time is of the essence. Exit frag trying to be fouled. Not going to work in their favour, though. Looks finding one more. The bomb might cause a bit of an issue. Oh, low on HP. Luck's going to fall. Nearly finding a second as well. And there they do. Netox falls at the very least. Bomb goes off. Round in favour of Cruzeiro, but it's a very, very expensive round at that. And that's exactly what MIBR were looking for when you consider, look at the buy they brought in, Simon. I mean, they quite literally had nothing. It was USPs for the most part. It's all they had to work with. And they find 4 out of 5 kills. So even though it's a round that doesn't go in favour of MIBR, they can take positives from that.
Absolutely. I mean, they make it really expensive for Cruzeiro as well, because yes, they're able to buy into it, but they don't have a hell of a lot left in the tank here. If MIBR can win this round, Cruzeiro are going to have like nothing coming into the next, but with Cello going so low here, that's going to make it tough.
Ooh, okay, well, there we go. It's a 1-for-1. Netox and exit, but then Santos finds an advantage in favour of Cruzeiro, and once again they've got the B side. And now this time we see just the early call to save. Statistically speaking, in terms of all competitive CSGO maps that are active at the moment, the B side of Dust2 is the hardest site to retake. Once it's been taken, once that bomb plant has gone down, the hardest site to retake. We saw it in kind of, you know, since its fruition of Dust2 being as part of the fray, it's always been the same. So when you get Dust2 and you get that B side, smoking towards doors, Molotov on towards window, nothing you can do, and that's why we see the very early call. The second MIBR lose it, they just give up.
I mean, this is the thing though, like the retake is so difficult, but that's why the denial becomes that much more important. And unfortunately, they weren't able to make that. Nice little bit of utility coming out, chunks Cello down, and then it's just follow-up damage at that point. This is a good call from MIBR to try and save. Oh my god, Teko. Oh, that's cheeky. Doesn't work out. Thankfully for MIBR, it just does not get what it was intended to. They were trying to flush him out there. 6-6. We're so close to the half. Neither of these teams in control anymore. Neither one really in the driving seat. I suppose Cruzeiro, you could say they've got a little bit of an edge here. They've got the eco. They've got the momentum. They're looking pretty good. They've got the AWP as well, which, again, you know, Pigo's having one of those games where he's not necessarily popping off in the kills, but the pressure that he's providing consistently to allow the rest of his team to get through is unmatched.
Ooh, JOTA, good double though. Teko and Santos, important kills, especially considering those two have been finding a lot of entries over towards that B side. Not a bad position for them to be in now. The double advantage, 5 versus 3, and JOTA managing to fall away alive is at the very least a priority. Now, that once again making their way over towards B, they could be tempted by a B split here, but the bomb has to be collected, and that's a long journey to a site.
Oh, I thought there was someone to spot there, and I realized it was the same team. Whew.
Close.
MIBR have such good map control at this point. They've given up mid for free, but it doesn't matter. Wherever Cruzeiro decide to move into, they've got numbers waiting.
Yeah.
And there's quite a bit down towards A-long as well. I mean, this is a beautiful square. At this point, all they really need is someone to go on like a wild flanking mission. I mean, if you consider where the bomb is, if somebody had gone out on a flank at that exact moment, of course, you know, cast a vision, they don't know. But if somebody had, can you imagine what a screw-up that would have been for this round?
Oh, Luck's good entry though onto the B side. Looks like it's 2. Won't be able to do so. Exit. Brilliant reaction from him towards window. Pigo gonna fall, and now this becomes dicey. For the like the Netox being spotted from behind, and from all angles he's being peppered. Wood will clean things up, and before remaining alive, that's MIBR collecting 7.
There we go. Keeping it very competitive. Well, we were wondering what this game was going to look like. Was it going to be an Inferno 2.0 or a Vertigo 2.0? And it's looking a lot like we had what we had on Inferno. Now, if MIBR can close out this next round, they confirm themselves the lead at the half. And I'm not too sure. Cruzeiro can still buy into this. They've still got a bit of cash to splurge here. Buy a little bit of util. So it's definitely possible that Cruzeiro even out the scoreline here. And of course, MIBR haven't been able to buy up into that second AWP.
No.
And not that it actually got all that much value. In fact, I'm at a point where I kind of want them to stick with just the one. Because with the way that Cruzeiro is playing, they're not really going to get maximum value out of a second AWP. They're going to get more value out of that fourth rifle, the M4 AK, whichever the case may be. So I think that I'd like to see them stick with what they've been doing, particularly with how well they take map control. I mean, in that last round, there was nowhere that Cruzeiro could go where they wouldn't get spotted. And, well, okay, running through mid, that's a very, very telegraphed spot for Pijo to shoot through, and well, he's gonna get that first kill. So MIBR staring on the barrel of an evened out, I won't say half, but you know, even scoreline at the end of the round.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, I mean, you know, so far so slow. MIBR is the initial man, but it's Woods who's been slightly slower in the server. An aggressive push from Tuurtle. He's looking for information. He actually might be given a hit. This is quite smart, but he's been read, held, waited. All about who will spot who first. All about timing. Is Techo going to fall away? The rotation has been made, and Turtle's just going to slow down the push. They're pushing back over towards long. Turtle's gone aggressive, and if this timing on this flank works, Tuurtle could be the difference maker.
Map control, map control, map control. The big question mark for me, of course, is going to be Lux, who's still vibing over towards B. So this counter late lurk could dismantle whatever the hell it is MIBR are planning at this point. There's a lot of strats on strats here, but Cello is holding on this. Oh, the predicted shot!
Oh, another second one for Cello. Look, they get three. Slight gap in the smoke, which will be plugged by the second smoke coming forward. Molotov on towards the side, though, denies that control. Santos coming in for that rotate. You've spoken about an exit will fall. 2 versus 3 brings it back level. Look to find one more, and Tuurtle delivers. We mentioned that flank could be important, and now in a matter of seconds, they know exactly where Santos is coming from. And speaking of seconds, only 15 left on the clock. From short, orb shot rattles off. Missed, though. Those Turtles coming from long. An aggressive swing, which pays the price. It's all down to the AWP. The question, can he deliver? Missed shot, in fact, means he could get the crossing towards the side. The USP trying to deny. 2 seconds. He has to stay alive. He's won the round just off the back of being alive. And in a matter of seconds, well, Cello, he did what was necessary of him. Bide his time and deny Santos getting that bomb plot. Means MIBR, at the very least, guarantee a lead going in towards the second half.
Oh, I love it. Lurks on lurks on lurks, man. Okay, I said Lux. It was actually Santos, as you said. But beautiful positioning there, and it plays out so well. But here's the thing. Santos gets 1 on his lurk. Tuurtle gets 2. And it does make a difference. The big thing for me was Cello missing some of those USP shots while he had the bomb in his hand. Like, how are you missing that? It's a bit of an awkward one. But here with this being the anti-eco, Cruzeiro starts to crumble.
Oh, shot, second time of asking. Cello coming alive, finds a second brilliantly. Third not going to quite connect, but luckily he's got the support, or so I say. Luxus Deagle causing problems. Hang on a second, this could become a problem. Damage dealt in a 1 versus 1. Lux still remaining alive, but he's made the cross on towards the site, and orb collected now makes it all the more difficult. With no one spotting towards CT, I'm sure he'll be thinking or assuming it's going to be the short play, but no. The plant for long, technically speaking, coming forward, and this now becomes very dicey. His exit goes to that long rotate, and as short starts to be cleared, surely he's going to get an inkling that the long rotate's come forward.
This is absolutely ridiculous. MIBR should have had this in the bag so easily, and Lux knows exactly where it's coming from.
Brilliant.
Oh, there we go. The patience is perfect. There we go. That's the half.
Brilliant
Can't
play.
believe it. We've done it.
Exactly. That will see you off the break. 8-7 in favour of MIBR. We'll see how the second half fares up. See you in a second.
Tell me now why you want to wait. Running out of words you wanna say. I've been looking for you, looking for you, looking for you. Take me down, leave me lost and found. Take me down.
Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back on the way, half number 2. It's even as we can make it. 8-7 is where we stand in favour of MIBR. But a good pistol around here from the CT side could turn the tide, and we're in a good spell of form for Cruzeiro.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's a little bit of deja vu of what we saw on Inferno. I think Inferno was also an 8-7 half. And we keep rolling with it. MIBR happened to be in the lead here, and with a nice little opening 2 picks there, that should net them the pistol.
I mean, as we stand, not a bad position for them to be in. Not the way forward. Techo, though. Julies and Locks with USP. Brings things level. Hang on a second. Now this may have turned the tide. It's a 1-for-1 trade. 2 remaining alive. The crossover towards the A side is trying to happen. Tempted a flank there, potentially exit, but now going to double back in for support. Going to hold for the push out from CT. And Wood's in a very, very tough spot. And he comes forward. He's taking a bit of chip damage, and Santos comes alive. X in a 1 versus 2 now, and this is a difficult one.
Well, at the very least, bomb plant. And yeah, the very least, and that's all they get.
Yeah.
A couple of kills as well, but not hugely advantageous for them. So at least they're going to be able to spend a little bit coming into this next round. They absolutely needed that to be able to make sure that they've got a bit of firepower here. And oh, I saw a hover over a scout for half a second. I'm wondering if we are going to actually see that come out here. Yep, there you go. Wood back on the scout nonsense. But Cruzeiro, look how much they're investing into this round. The Reed rifles, the scout. I mean, there's a lot of firepower here. They are, I mean, for I don't know, man. This is a huge spend considering they're the CTs. This could backfire.
Yeah, I mean, essentially for Cruzeiro, lose this, they're back into a double eco. But they got the preference as the firepower, and of course, to make things all the more comfortable for them. Wood falling means that the only kind of long-range weapon they had at the fray with that of the scouts, down to that for the count. Now making their way over towards short. We see JOTA kind of leading the charge there. But still that tempo slowed right down by MIBR after losing that initial man. They don't want to do anything too overconfident, too overzealous, or they'll pay the price for it. But they're defaulting back over towards A.
And Cruzeiro don't have quite the same map control that we've seen from MIBR. They've given up a lot of space here, and MIBR are able to move in onto the side here. They've already forced Peter off of his angle, and they forced Lux back as well. They have full control of the site for now.
Spoken towards front, outside the side, gives them that cross if they want it, allows for a change in plant, and now retaking up on tough. Or so I say, Tuurtle overextending gives Lux a freebie. Now the numbers definitely favour that on the CT side. And all they have to do is play for the trade game. It's double stack over towards, not a sure, but Cello coming alive. Finds 2, nearly converting on towards the 3rd. The Galil had to step up here, swinging from ramp, but only damage dealt. And leaves a scout all alone in towards Goose. He spotted our 1, but they spotted in 2. Exit. Does make it doable. They tap the bomb. It's planted for him. Finding one more. Gonna pull out the Deagle as well. Swinging forward and exit. What a round it is. 2 with the scout, 1 with the Deagle. And that's a way to once again regain a slim lead.
Jesus. Okay. Those shots, or that final shot with the Deagle was nasty, all right? There was no spray and pray there. It was a beautiful one tap to secure that round. A round that maybe they shouldn't actually have come out on top of. But this is what I was saying. Cruzeiro, they spent so much in that round. Look at their economy now. Look what they're coming into this round with. I mean, ugh.
It's toying with the idea of being slightly dicey. They're trying to make their way over towards this B site. The split potentially could come forward from JOTA, and he'll be the difference maker if they still want to commit over towards B. 45 seconds left to work with, and it looks like they are. 1 for 1. Cello makes it 2. And we've been falling, that B side opens up, and surely I think that's just going to be the safe call now made for the remaining CTs. Potentially finding one more consolation on towards JOTA, but they're not going to be able to make their way back on towards that B site. We already mentioned how, statistically speaking, the B side of Dust2 is the hardest site to retake in terms of the active map pool. And yeah, you know, for Cruzeiro, they're not even going to attempt it. There's literally quite literally is no point.
I feel like if this lurk had come in a little bit earlier, a little bit faster, maybe they would have been able to make something happen here, maybe deny that plant from happening. But at this point, it really is just kind of holding angles, saving the few weapons you have available, maybe get an exit frag or two. And it's a little sad because they had all of the tools that they needed to make it happen. Now they've given over yet another round to MIBR. They keep it expensive. They do manage to take yet another rifle out of their hands. Well, I say expensive. It's not that bad. We've got so much cash. They are flush. It's really Cruzeiro who are struggling here at the moment. And thank God they did manage to hang on to the few weapons that they did have at the time. I'm curious to see if they actually opt into the double AWP at some point, but I don't think that they're going to be able to build up enough of a slush fund to actually make that happen. MIBR have been consistently sitting them down.
Yeah, there's sort of no need, is there, right, to go for a double orb as we stand. I mean, so far it's been a kind of a nice, comfortable position for them to be in. For MIBR, they've got a comfortable 4-round lead, and all they have to do is just hold, wait, see what they can do. As we stand, no locks, a double through the smoke. He's going to be very fortunate to deliver on that. Neto's finding one more, and as we stand, potentially, this could be a position where, for MIBR, what was looking like a really good run of form towards the second half, their momentum immediately shunted back down. The sound cue of the Utah being picked up by Lux nearly becoming costly, but the AWP shot won't quite connect.
Bomb's chilling on the floor. All they gotta do is make sure that nobody steps on it. Should be easy enough to do. And what I find so funny is that, like, it's very seldom that we see MIBR go for the A side hit. And when they do, because Cruzeiro constantly have this A side 3-stack waiting for the push to come in. So the one time that they do actually push towards the A side, well, yeah, Cruzeiro just kind of mow them down a little bit. But now if they realize, all right, well, A side's a bad idea, we're just gonna start going B or through mid, you know, mid to A push through A short, then easy peasy. That's what's been working out for them historically. I mean, sometimes you got to make a mistake to realize, all right, well, that's not going to work, so we just don't do that anymore. Now they're just going to hold on to the 2 guns that they have. We spoke about how flush they were at the end of the previous round. They're still going to be able to buy in quite comfortably. But this was an important round win for Cruzeiro. Not just because, of course, it helps to kind of close the gap a little bit, but it puts a little bit more cash in their bank, and they really needed that at the end, you know, considering how the last round ended.
Of course, right? And that's the biggest thing. That long-term economy gives some stability, some sort of momentum going forward. The rotation's been made back over with that bomb dropped. I mean, there's nothing realistically speaking that MIBR could have done. The second that bomb gets dropped, that's the round done and dusted. It's dropped on the other side of the door. The smallest amount of utility from the CT side just completely relinquishes all the control that MIBR can have and can find in towards round number 21. And, well, they, after early doors, just go for a save call. Save / kind of exit frag call, but that's really all they could find. Nicely played for Cruzeiro. They get very fortunate. The bomb rolls into their feet, and now they take it all the way to the bank. 12-9, 3-round lead. Still in favour of MIBR.
Looks like they might just be faking an A long push. Looks like Cruzeiro have set themselves up. They're not actually high or heavy stacking towards A long this time around. They've actually given up a little bit of that space there. They're more heavily postured towards mid, and I quite like this as well. I like the idea of having a little bit more control over the map. But MIBR, they're back into playing things a little bit more slowly, a little bit more of that util heavy play. Try and find some information before you make a decision. Oh, Cello just manages to survive there. That's going to give the information where the AWP is, and that is vital.
They're crossing over towards CT side, or over to a short, may I say, from the hold of CT side. There's a smoke in their face, allowing the Xbox control to come forward, but it's still a little bit dicey. They've got an idea, roughly, of what MIBR are trying to do, but MIBR have cut that tempo to a complete halt. They're waiting for a mistake from Cruzeiro, and then, of course, trying to pounce off the back of it, but Cruzeiro, so passive in their nature, they're not going to give it up.
Finally, bomb makes its way over towards short. There's that heavy A presence that we spoke about a little bit earlier on. Now it's going to be about, so how do they get spotted out here? Flash comes out. That's going to be the call to action. But it's already dissipated now, and Tuurtle almost loses his life there.
Tuurtle. He's going to find one, though. That's not open. The bomb team planted, or so I say. Lux with the Semi-kookly, gonna find one more. The orb doesn't quite spot out in time to deny that bomb gonna go down. It will be planted. Now the rotation being called in, but it's a question of too little, too late. Numbers favour the T side, and the trade game does too. We're gonna find one more. The orb versus orb battle finally going the way of MIBR. Pigu put in his place, and I think now it's definitely that save call to be made. For Santos, all alone, in a 1 versus 4, keep holding that AK-47. It's not a weapon which you can buy, so you've got to prioritise trying to keep it across. Let's put one in towards CT. Couple of pop shots. Slightly ill-advised, because it allows them the information of where to go hunting, and he is now in for a dicey couple of seconds to try and keep this AK ticking across. And I think they might be aware that he hasn't crossed. When he drops Tuurtle, surely the swing comes forward. There it is. Exit will clean things up, and MIBR find 13.
Oh, that was a rough one again. And this is what I was talking about. So the A long push didn't work, so they go for the mid to A push through A short, and works out really well. We see a lot of that utility come out. It forces a lot of the, a couple of the Cruzeiro players off of whatever angles they were holding. Makes it really difficult to reaggress in onto site. It plays out perfectly for MIBR. Now we're 1 round away from match point. And Cruzeiro very wisely opting not to buy into this. They could pull out a little bit of a weird force here, but instead they want to make sure they know they're going to lose this round. They want to make sure they've got something in the tank for that last round in this series.
Of course, as we said, it's underwhelming, the buy that we see for Cruzeiro. Only the upgraded pistols. Realistically, not going to find too much. I mean, if we're going to be honest there, even finding a couple of kills would be a real silver lining in a bad situation. But what you have to be really cautious of if you're Cruzeiro is that they've more or less only got 1 buy left in them. They're going to give up a 14th here more often than not. I mean, with the real lackluster buy they've got, you can more or less assume that MIBR going to pick up themselves a 14, which means Cruzeiro will buy in towards round number 24. Failure to convert that. That's the game done. I mean, they're going to have no buy going forward, double eco situation once again, and it's a really awful position for them to be in, where they're trying to have a little bit of longevity, but there's not enough time for them to work with now, making their way forward. One player being spotted crossing, he needs to be careful. They know he's up on towards Boo. JOTA's made his way slowly in towards that CT hold, and from range, he should be able to just mow him down. Netox will fall. Pigu and Lux follow suit in a matter of seconds. A flawless round for MIBR as they find 14. 2 away from the all-losers 16. Garnering themselves not only the map, but the series.
Oh, man. My heart bleeds for Cruzeiro. This isn't as close as what we saw on Inferno. I thought that maybe they'd be able to make a little bit more happen here on the CT side. And you kind of expect them to do a little bit more on the CT side. But there's that double AWP that I was kind of hinting towards a little bit earlier on. It does make things a little bit difficult. Santos coming out with Hog. They can't really afford much more. But there is a lot of firepower here for Cruzeiro. And I like that they're looking to try and take some map control here as well. This has been something that I felt has been missing from this Cruzeiro squad. Nope, never mind. They're just going to back out. Okay.
Slow tempo here from RBR. They know this is a real full buy for Cruzeiro, and they don't really want to test the water too much. Oh, shot's brilliant though from Pigu. All to where Flash doesn't quite catch the CT AWP, and he's able to find himself in quite a nice area. They did spot the bomb just being dropped there, so they'll know it's being dropped in towards that of the Xbox position. A Tuurtle. He is extremely fortunate to still be alive.
And now again, I mean, they're trying to sell this fake over towards A, but it is bomb that's moving in through mid. Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
It's alright. We're still okay. We're safe for now. There's only 2 players over towards B here. Santos going to try and get a little bit of information, but Tuurtle's already managed to get another one cross map. They've really sold this fake.
Doing this so well. Santos finds double, looks to make it 3. Pistol whipping though, Wood comes alive. 1 versus 2 at range, trying to deny. JOTA takes a lot of damage. But so does Lux. All 3 players in the server low on HP, and I said for Cruzeiro, this is their last opportunity. Surely they're all to where he's coming from tunnels, and now they definitely are. Wood holding with the AUG, trying to see what he can spot. Trying to go for elevated angle. Wood catches it up. MIBR find 15, and that could be it. That could be the all-important round, because you look over towards Cruzeiro, and their economy is in a dicey spot. A force buy to come through. We're going to see probably a double M4 A1S, couple of FAMASs, but it's not going to be the easiest situations with MIBR on map and series point.
Oh, that was so close for Cruzeiro. Oh, I'm shattered. I'm absolutely gutted. I really thought that they could bring that one out. But it is MIBR. They were the favorites coming into this, and I had them as my favorite to win out the whole damn thing. So, proven me. You know what I do like? I do enjoy being proven right. It is fun. But it is sad for Cruzeiro. However, we have seen them pull out some really amazing stuff. Previously, they've already done a ton of damage onto MIBR. See if they can follow that up here.
Promising close and personal. Tekka trying to deny. Barrow spotted. Free kill for him. JOTA didn't even assume someone could be in that close. And because of it, an advantage goes away to the CT side on this very uncomfortable buy for them. That's the dream start they wanted. And especially considering as well that Cello and Wood both not in the best of situation in terms of their HP. Utility's coming forward. Molotov as well. Airburst, that's not exactly what Tuurtle was looking for. He was trying to clear out this close angle now. Netox more or less can be given a freebie here. Lux will find one. The farmer should be getting a freebie, and it will. Molly in hand, Cello falls, and Exit and Wood left all alone 2 versus 5. Oh, how this has turned.
How the turns table.
How the turns table. Exactly.
Amazing. I mean, I said, you know, we've seen Cruzeiro eco MIBR in previous rounds. So it was not something that was totally out of the realm of possibility. But they've done it in such a crazy fashion. I mean, I'm going to say MIBR kind of approached this round looking a little disjointed. Kind of felt like they weren't terribly sure what the plan was going to be as they came into this round and looked a little bit messy, gave up a lot of HP very early on. Yeah, I mean, there's almost no way of salvaging the round. Yeah, okay, at this point with Exit down on like no HP, it's just not happening. I mean, okay, MIBR are still going to be fine coming into the next round in terms of what economy they have available to them because they've built up a huge buffer. Jeez, Wood's on $13,000. It's insane. Cruzeiro, on the other hand, just going to be able to buy in here. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be perfect. But hopefully it'll do the trick. Hopefully it will keep them alive. Give them that stay of execution just that little bit longer. I see we do have a little bit of a pause coming in here. MIBR taking attack. Conceded a couple more rounds than I think they would have liked. Now the conversation needs to happen. Boys, what are we doing? What are we doing wrong? How are we fixing that? That last round was not as clean as we would have wanted it. It's not the way that we usually play. So how are we going to rally ourselves here?
One of those things that, you know, as we stand, for MIBR, they've got the economy to work with. They've got the rounds in their favour. But Cruzeiro, with the pressure on their shoulders, this is where, you know, as they say, diamonds are made under pressure. And we need, hopefully, the side to step up. It's a long road to success, though, isn't it? I mean, what we've seen so far is moments and kind of sporadic moments of brilliance from the CT side. But it's been very costly. And that's where we're seeing, once again, a slightly kind of a more uncomfortable situation with them where the AUG picked up, but they kind of can't pick up the utility support in the likes of Santos. And all in all, a little bit uncomfortable for Cruzeiro. And of course, with map and series points, pressure is definitely mounting. Triple stack over towards long. Really trying to pounce down on that area. Airburst Molotov as well. It's exactly what MIBR needed. It gives them that space in towards mid. And so far, what MIBR are just doing is just baiting out a lot of that CT utility.
It looks like they might even be trying to sell a fake because look at where the bomb is. The bomb is still all the way back in spawn and they're making so much noise over towards mid. They're drawing attention away from A. The bomb's not going towards long. It's here in short and Cruzeiro are shutting them down. That was the perfect time to make a fake and MIBR commit to the short play.
Comes Costly swinging in though. Tuurtle with a double brings the ties level and it doesn't even really take a too bad of a kind of amount of damage where this still leans in favour of Cruzeiro. Exactly as we stand, a double for Tuurtle gives them somewhat of an entry going forward. And 8 won't really cause too much of an issue. It's a 1-for-1 trade. The AWP of Wood coming alive. This opens up this A side. Bombs be planted momentarily. And now this is becoming significantly more dicier than it should have been.
Wood is on terribly low HP here. So there's the AWP in his hand. No, the HE managing to take him out. Are they waiting for the lurk? Yes, they are. Exit manages to get one, but he's so low HP. Now, he has to somehow stop this defuse from going through, and Teko is going to be so paranoid. Checking every angle. He's going to go for the stick.
No way.
Let's go for the stick, and Exit's nowhere. He's nowhere.
You know what they say, Sam? Pros don't fake, and that's exactly what Teko does. That's brilliant. Gets an AWP as well as a slight present. You absolutely love to see it, but you can't blame him. In that scenario, in a 1 versus 1, low HP for both of the players kind of left alive. Well, and not so much Techo, but, you know, you don't expect the stick to come forward, especially in such an open plant. But what X does, he double guessed himself. He was tempted to go for that rotation back over towards CT, and because he was so far away, he basically had to commit and hope that it was a tap defuse and not that full stick. And, oh, credit where credit's due. Techo plays it perfectly. Now swinging away forward in towards the grass of Lux, or so I say. Cello with the opener. Brilliant opener at that, and doesn't even take too much damage, but the U2 will. JOTA and Cello come alive. And just like that, I think what was looking like potentially a lifeline extended out towards Cruzeiro, MIBR in a 5 versus 2 with map and series points, and I think more or less done. All they have to do is play for the trades, and surely this should be done now.
I'm waiting to see if we're just yeah on the B side. Gonna go for a potential fake. Gonna try and pull. Okay, he did. Never mind. That's not gonna work. And now that gives information that it is definitely gonna be the A side. So rotation's gonna come across here, but with only 2 players left alive. Yeah, you can hear the footsteps. Yeah, you can throw the util, but you've got nothing to back it up.
Want to be planted, trying to go for a Kukli jumping orb shot, but not going to be the case. Pigu finding 1 though, and now as we stand, potentially a lifeline. We mentioned extended, and it could be continued as the boost can come forward. Spotted out though, Tuurtle good for 1. Knows exactly where the last is coming from. And then a 1 versus 3. Sam, I think this one might be done. And yes, it is. 16-11 MIBR closeout map number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, they take the series 2-1, and of course now move into our upper bracket game. Sam, what a performance from them, but you got to say from both sides, we saw moments of brilliance, but unfortunately for, well, the likes of MIBR.